now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios YouTube channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade J.J. Williams, thanking each and every one of you for coming back and joining me here once again in the theater. So this is Christmas. And what have you done? Another year over, and a new one's just begun. Merry Christmas to each and every one of you, my loyal Casa D18 Studios viewers. Santa has now visited all the good boys and girls of the world and has returned to the North Pole. And as you all should know by now, I've been reviewing some Christmas movies as sort of a soft reopening for Renegades Reviews. Today's film is, as of now, the final installment in the Christmas series, at least, and the trilogy that I've been covering the last few days. Directed by Mike Roll, from a screenplay by Robin Bernheim-Berger. Today's film once again stars Vanessa Hudgens, Sam Palladio, and Nick Sagar, and it's the Netflix original film, The Princess Switch 3, Romancing the Star. Released on November 18th, 2021, the film is, as of now, the final installment in the Princess Switch trilogy. And as our movie opens, Princess Stacey Wyndham of Belgravia and Queen Margaret Delacourt of Montanaro, both of whom are portrayed by Vanessa Hudgens, are preparing to host an international Christmas festival in Montanaro, the centerpiece of which is the Star of Peace, a sacred relic loaned by the Vatican. Shortly after the star arrives, thieves break into the palace and steal it. Stacey and Margaret decide to approach Lady Fiona Pembroke, also portrayed by Hudgens, who is currently on probation and working as a custodian at an orphanage, in order to try and help them track down the star. Fiona agrees to help in exchange for Margaret putting in a good word for her when her case is up for review by a disciplinary board just after Christmas. Fiona consults her ex-boyfriend, Peter Maxwell, played by Remy High, a disgraced former Interpol investigator who now runs his own private security firm. He quickly deduces that the mastermind behind the star's disappearance is Hunter Kennard, played by Will Kemp, a billionaire who is obsessed with stealing priceless works of art for his own personal collection. Fiona charms Hunter into giving her an invitation to his annual Christmas party at his estate. Peter then recruits Fiona's assistants, Mindy and Reggie, played by Florence Hall and Ricky Norwood respectively, in order to practice infiltrating Hunter's estate and bypassing his security measures while Fiona distracts Hunter at the party. Now Reggie injures himself during training, so Margaret agrees to impersonate Fiona at the party, while Peter and Fiona, stepping in for Reggie, retrieve the star from the security vault. As they get ready for the mission, Fiona reflects over her unrequited feelings for Peter, whom she has known since childhood. The plan is set into motion, and at first, everything goes smoothly, until Peter accidentally trips a pressure plate alarm while retrieving the star. Panicked, Reggie and Mindy shut off the fake security footage Peter had installed, alerting Hunter to the theft. Peter gives Fiona a bag with the star and stays behind to distract Hunter's men, while Frank, played by Mark Fleischman, picks up Fiona. Margaret is also able to escape with the help of the coat check Angel Man. Meanwhile, Stacy receives word from the head of the orphanage that Fiona's hearing has been rescheduled to the same night as the heist. So Stacy decides to dress up like Fiona and appear in front of the committee, accompanied by Prince Edward, played by Sam Palladio, as a character witness. With Stacy impersonating a remorseful Fiona, the board decides on a commutation of sentence, a reduction, if you will. Everyone regroups at the palace, but Fiona soon discovers that the bag that she's been carrying contains a decoy. Believing that Peter tricked them, Margaret and Stacy agree to reveal the truth to the Vatican, while Fiona, Mindy, and Reggie plan to leave the county despite Margaret inviting them to stay for Christmas. Peter asks Fiona to meet him, and when she does, he explains that he only took the star in order to get her attention. He asks her to speak with Bianca, played by Amanda Donahoe, who is Fiona's mother, and who has traveled to Montanaro in order to make peace with her daughter. Fiona angrily refuses to forgive her and is about to leave when she realizes that doing so would be repeating the same mistake her mother made. So she goes back, hugs Bianca, and forgives her. They then return the star to Stacy and Margaret, just in the nick of time. At the lighting of the festival's Christmas tree, Margaret reveals to Kevin, played by Nick Sager, that she gave the police evidence of Hunter's crimes. Fiona, despite finally being welcomed back into her cousin's family, is miserable about not having anyone to share the holiday with, when suddenly Peter reappears despite their fight. They share a kiss as the Star of Peace lights up to celebrate the new year, and our movie comes to its close. Now, again, if you've turned into these reviews over the last few weeks, you've heard me discuss ad nauseum how Christmas movies get held to a different standard and why that is. How all of them are so formulaic, more so than a rom-com, blah, blah, blah. How Christmas movies for me come down to one simple thing: was I entertained? And we've discussed multiple times now how the plots are void of depth because they want you to believe in the impossible, believe in the spirit of Christmas and the Christmas miracle, which if you don't believe in that stuff on Christmas Day out of the entire calendar year, what are you doing? There are, of course, rare cases, and we've discussed two of them, where a Christmas movie script does possess depth, and in those you found a gem. Now, once again, while the original film is that rare gem, and the sequel comes close, this one, while still entertaining in its own right, misses the mark worse than the second installment did. Now, Vanessa Hudgens, don't get it twisted, is still charismatic and radiant and steals every scene that she's in. It feels, though, like in some scenes, specifically when Margaret is portraying Fiona, like she's phoning her performance in. I will say this much, though. I like how each film focuses on one of the Vanessa Hudgens characters. The first film was completely Stacy's movie, while the second one was all about Margaret. This one is Fiona's film. And while the other ladies that Vanessa Hudgens plays definitely factor heavily into the plots, the films still keep their focus on the individual lady. When it comes to my rating for this particular installment, I give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. Definitely not as good as the first two, but it does have its moments. What do you guys think of The Princess Switch 3, Romancing the Star? Let me know. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Let's have that conversation, that discussion, that debate, that discourse, those interactions, those engagements that I'm always trying to get out of you, my loyal viewers. And until this evening, when we transition from Christmas into Hanukkah, and we return to the theater for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios YouTube channel. I have been your host, the Renegade J.J. Williams, thanking each and every one of you for joining me and tuning in. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. I'll catch you guys next time.